Country modern is also called the international style of architecture. And then staying on the right, our next building is a very low-slung glass building, right where that kayaker is hugging the river. This is our first example of contemporary architecture, Apple Michigan Avenue, completed in 2017, designed by Foster and Partners. It's kind of sparkling here today. It's got 4 support columns inside, and if we were up on a helicopter looking down at Apple, that would look like a get beautiful views from there. This historic style of architecture is considered Beaux-Arts, meaning fine or beautiful art. Beaux-Arts buildings have grand entrances, Corinthian columns, or swags and urns. And up at the top, the silver one in the middle, you can see that London House. That's a great bar here in town with some sweeping views here of us on our river running through it. People can look down there as they're traveling down the Chicago River. Next on your left, you can see a building that almost looks like a sand castle. It's a tan building with a temple on the top and 4 temples on the corner. Another example of Beaux-Arts style of architecture. This is 35 East Wacker. It was completed in 1926, and it was designed by Yeaver and Diekelberg. Diekelberg had worked with Daniel Berger inside that went up like 22 stories with your car, where you could drive inside and keep your baubles protected from the crime on the street. The 4 towers on the corners are cleverly disguised water tanks, and all the way up at the top of that building was a speakeasy called the Stratosphere Club. And it was rumored that Al Capone used to party in the Stratosphere Club, but that's not true because he was already at Alcatraz when the Stratosphere Club opened up. Now, postmodern buildings speak to where they live or other styles of architecture. Postmodern architecture is considered contextual, giving a nod. So staying on your left, look at the granite building with the stainless steel accents in the middle. And this is our Leo Burnett building from 1989. And as your eyes travel 2/3 of the way down that building, you can see shoulders on the side, which are contextual, or kind of nodding to the buildings next to them. This is still home to worldwide advertising agency Leo Burnett. Example of postmodernism, 77 West Wacker, 1992. Ricardo Bofill. So you might say, well, what is this on steroids? The base of it is very Greek. It's got a triangular. If you look up above those stairs, you can see a building that looks like a giant armchair. This is our first example of Art Deco. This is the LaSalle Wacker building. It was completed in 1929, and it was designed by Halliburton Group. In 1922, they were worried that Chicago would become an urban canyon. So they come out with some zoning. They said you could take your building out of the sky, or maybe an upside-down wine bottle. 150 North Riverside. We'll look at that as we head back down. The boat's getting ready to turn. This is one of my favorite shots of the trains going by 150 North Riverside. And we'll talk about that building. We're turning on the north branch of the Chicago River right now. Staying on the left, brand new building, 2017, parabolic arch up at the top, down at the base, River Point. The architecture firm is Gesh Partners. Notice the green space. We've got a wedding out there, which is kind of fun. Right there at River Branch of the river. And that's a municipal device for Chicago. You'll see a Y scattered around town. That actually represents infamous in Chicago for knocking over a lantern. It was a milk barn over there that started the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. So my question for you guys is very celebratory, and if you walk by it on Michigan Avenue after the tour, you'll see it's got like a dark granite base, it's green terracotta, it's a gold top. Kind of does look like a bottle of champagne. Now it's the Pendry Hotel. And I haven't been up there, but I understand they have a new rooftop deck up there that's beautiful. So if you want to have a drink in the building that looks like that Chicago, besides murder and mayhem, that Chicago is the home of the Ferris wheel. So in 1893, we had a World's Fair. 4 years earlier, Paris had had a World's Fair. Paris came up with the Eiffel Tower. We decided we wanted to compete with something like the Eiffel Tower, so we developed the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel on our Navy Pier up ahead is only 2/3 the height of the original Ferris wheel. The original Ferris wheel cars held 40 people. It was rickety when the Ferris wheel went up. Now, Navy Pier was completely downplayed from those training exercises during World War II. Up ahead is some locks, because once we reversed the river, we needed to put some great photos of our Grand Canyon here in Chicago of architecture. Creeping through the building, but we might get some other photos as we head back in. Housing, and Lakeshore East is not quite as affordable as Marina City was back in its day.